All right. Well, good luck syncing that up, Wits. We're all recording now. Welcome to the 51st episode of GuardianCast, guys.
51. Really?
51.
And yeah,
I'm pretty sure that it's less than that.
we have a
I thought it was too.
returning person here who is now part of the full-time crew. Welcome, Eddie, everybody.
Hello.
Hey!
How you guys doing?
Meme
Pretty
review.
good, pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be a part of this, and I'm happy that you guys invited me to do so.
Awesome. So I want to open up with some good news before we get into anything Destiny or other gaming related. This just happened a few minutes ago, guys. On Twitch, if you're an affiliate, based on the number of subscribers you have, you're going to be getting more emote slots now.
Hey!
Let's go.
Woo!
Starting today, if you have at least 15 subscriber points, you can get a second emote slot in your tier 1. And then progressively over the next few months, you can get up to 5. And I think you only need 50. So
That's awesome.
I'm personally just going to get 5 made right off the bat and just have them ready to go. And I'm excited as hell about this. This is long overdue.
Yeah,
Definitely.
this is nice.
There must be a bonus or a boost for partners as well. So I know for partners they're giving them an extra 5 if up to 64. But then I look at certain partners, and some partners have over close to 70.
A lot of it has to do with sub points.
It does, but the max is supposed to be 50. But that was so long ago where those rules were actually set in place. It's nice to see that they're actually updating them and now including affiliate on it. I still want them to look at. I still think that they need to work on figuring out what tier 2 and tier 3 subscriptions like.
Yeah, man. Getting one
something
extra
better for
emote?
those people.
Yeah.
It's kind of silly. One extra. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's okay because those people, I don't know, basically they're choosing to support you by giving extra money to Twitch.
Yeah.
So those people could do bits, or they could do just a tip or something like that. But so they just want it to be on a subscription, and then by doing that, half of that money goes to Twitch. So I don't know, I guess it's in Twitch's best interest to incentivize that better.
You would think, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know what they could. I feel like having a crap ton of emotes for tier 3 or tier 2 would be weird. There has to be something else. Maybe I think that a chat badge, allowing us to have just separate badges for tier 2 and tier 3 peeps.
That would be cool. I like that.
Would be cool. Just for
that'd be cool.
The duration of your support. As long as you're tier 3 subbed, you can have this flashy shit.
Do you think that
a different badge?
No,
that'd be cool. But would you have it next to the regular subscriber badge, or take the place of?
It doesn't matter.
No, just
Either
take
is
the place
fine.
of. If it takes
the place of, though, then you they're not gonna have the streak stuff and all that.
Yeah,
no, because you can create a new set for tier 2 and tier 3.
That sounds complicated.
I mean,
I
giving
think
them the
people
option would be nice, I think, because you can edit your appearance in the Twitch chat to which badge you want to show. So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think the real tech is to be a tier 3, and then you have that badge, but you hide it, because then you can just be stealth tier 3.
Yeah, it's being packing, but wearing really baggy pants all the time.
Yeah,
it's like those anonymous $10,000 donations to GuardianCon or something like that. They're it's anonymous, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't want to be known.
It's like that time that Ninja's wife anonymously donated $100,000 to his charity stream so that he didn't get totally smacked by Dr. Lupo.
Oh man,
super anonymous. Yeah, super
Are you?
anonymous.
Did that happen? Or
No, it's not confirmed, but he was.
No, he matched donations, right? That's what he did for a while.
He
had to stop doing it because it cost him too much money. But
I don't know. I don't remember what happened.
It must be hard to be Ninja. That's all. I
just remember him doing the charity stream, and then like all of a sudden, there's like $100,000 that comes in anonymously, and it's like
Mr. Beast donated, I think, $50,000 during that stream.
Yeah,
Mr. Beast is insane.
So the partner requirements are changing too. This is like kind of interesting. I didn't know what it was before. But before it, like, it went up to 8 emote slots, it looks like, and progressively went up. Now partners are going to start with 6 emote slots and be able to earn
that's
the
what I was talking about. And I don't want to call out a specific partner, but I've noticed that people who get partnered get an insane amount of emotes, and like their subscriber points do not match that amount. So like this way they're kind of creating a framework for, hey, this is what happens when you get partnered. You're going to get an additional this no matter what. And then your amount of, so like I've seen partners that have like 200 subscriber points and cause they have it displayed or 200 or 300 subscriber points. They get partnered and then I have 14 emote slots, and I'm looking at the emote partner guide and I'm like, well, that means you would have had
let me ask this.
Emote.
I think once you hit that goal once, you keep team. I don't think they they take it away from you. Right. So you could just have a really good month.
Yeah.
They should, a lot of gift subs,
but
a lot of stuff.
Is it going to be retroactive for us as well, or is it?
I don't know if it'll be retroactive, but it'll be if you hit the goal.
They're not going to like take it away. Right. Like
exactly. Yeah. So they must have. So I guess I don't know what happened in that scenario if they got like more subscribers during that. But that's why I'm saying, like, because if they just hit partner and then suddenly they have 30 emote slots, but they only have like 1,000 sub points or whatever, and it takes like 2,000 or 3,000 sub points to hit the next like 30 emotes. And like somebody's like, hey, I just hit partner. By the way, I have 30 emotes.
Well, if you hit partner with like 3,000 subs and then that like tapers, then you just keep them.
I guess. I mean, I just don't know, because I don't think because I've seen scenarios where a partner would have 200. They had 200 sub points when they and it's not happened just once, and I didn't want to call anybody out, but they're like, yeah, I've got 16 emote slots. I'm like,
yeah, well, I think that, like the system for how things work with partners is like you sending emails between yourself and Twitch staff. It's not as like formal as like the affiliate program where it's like, you've reached this goal, you get this.
I think with the partnership agreement, because each partnership agreement is it's unique, and there's certain things you can ask for.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure Dr. Disrespect and Ninja have different riders in their contracts with Twitch that say that they get certain things, or I mean, any.
I think that they should do that with apartments too. Like, I think if you land like a sick job, right, and you get like into like a 4-bedroom apartment, that even if you end up working at McDick's, they're just like, you can keep it. Because, you got used to it.
There you go.
It's like, getting a divorce when your spouse makes a lot of money. You're used to the lifestyle, right? Like,
yes, dude.
Yeah, but that already is the case.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like that, though.
Yeah.
Yo, that Bezos divorce, $137 billion,
Yeah. But how much is she getting? Do you know?
Yeah, it'll be equitable. So it'll be half at least.
Right.
I
don't know about half.
There's no way.
Well, no, like the value is
he can't liquidate that cash.
Yeah.
No. But it's like half of the worth of the company that he owns is hers, or whatever.
I don't know about that, dude. I think it's going to go to their living, like their lifestyle, but I don't think that she's going to end up like taking half of his empire.
Yeah, no way.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so
usually with regards to divorces, judges will look
unless she was involved in the business.
Yeah,
that's the only way that she would get half of that.
No, because like when a judge looks at a divorce, what they look for is to make sure things are fair and equitable, but they do change the fair and equitable bit in the favor of either spouse. If one of the spouses, like say for instance he was cheating on her, and I believe he was, right?
It like said that they had an amicable. Listen, I don't know anything about.
Yeah, so like
Jeff Bezos' divorce. To tell you the truth, other than it's a lot of money.
I guess I'm not an expert
divorce
on divorce,
cast.
but I do.
Divorce cast, bro.
Divorce cast. Yeah, we're legal advisors. Don't take legal advice, please. Yeah.
I only play a lawyer on TV. It's fine.
So, but anyway, just to wrap up this whole like emote thing, do you guys think that like obviously I'm really happy about this. I'm sure you guys are too. Do you think there's going to be like that normal backlash we see from partners where they're like, the affiliates are getting all the stuff we have, man?
Dude, I don't think
because they're getting more of it. I think it shouldn't be a problem.
Well, but when we got subscriber badges, that's what happened, though.
I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of that on Twitter.
I guess I'm not following
shit. I was too happy to have subscriber badges. I didn't care.
I mean, you know, at the end of the day.
Yep.
This has been Deep Thoughts with Huffy. So, Bungie.
Yo, one quick thing.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, so like Titan skating.
Okay. So we're starting with that then. Titan skating.
Hey, listen, I think that we should talk about what everybody's happiest about. You know.
All right. Yeah, that's good. So we'll lead with this then. I can say I am elated. The reign of the Titan has come to a close. There's no more Titan skating. The one-eyed mask is getting smacked around.
Yeah.
And the Crucible is going to be a happier place because of those two things.
Well, it's not really... The one-eyed mask isn't really changing that much.
It's changing enough.
It's changing enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's changing enough.
Right? But it'll still be the exotic that people use.
Yeah. And I think that's fine. It's really good. But it's not like, oh, you're in your super and now you got all of your health back because you shoulder charged someone, you know?
I still see people use Wormhusk occasionally. I don't think it's the best hunter exotic anymore, but
it's not the necessity.
People still use it.
They need to. I don't know. Maybe because. Why do you think that was so? Where they were so hard on that exotic, and they're not being as hard on the one-eyed mask?
Because the Wormhusk crown was dumb.
Because the Titan skating is happening at the same time.
Yeah.
The double whammy is really gonna take a hit on that class for sure.
They're just like, well, I'll just delete my Titan then.
You know? I mean,
I don't
want
know.
People
they can do that if they want. Whatever. Sorry.
I think Titans are still going to be really good. You just have to be not.
And you know what? You've had what 8 months now of being just like ridiculously overpowered. So I don't want to hear it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that they don't want people to say, oh, I'm just going to go delete my Titan and be done with it.
I don't know. I was reading Twitter comments and people in the comments of this TWAB were like, thank you so much for nerfing the one-eyed mask, and Bungie was like, yeah, we're putting a stop to that. Like, they literally commented back to some of these people and they were just like, yeah, screw the one-eyed mask.
That's
like,
so good.
Like, you made the decision to put it in the game. You made the decision to do all this stuff. Yeah, I know, that's stupid exotic.
That's so good, dude.
But so just to go over exactly what's happening to the one-eyed mask, the duration of the Mark of Vengeance is basically getting cut in half from 15 to 8 seconds. That's good. So it shouldn't really persist through death anymore like it used to because of how long respawning takes. The way that the regeneration happens is changing, so it's going to refill over time alongside the overshield instead of being an instant overshield plus full health that's going on. And then it's no longer, this is the biggest thing, and I think it's underrated how good this is. It's no longer going to take place when they're in their super, because I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting there babying down a super, and then they just throw a Titan shield at my teammate, and it's, back to full health. Yeah. Let me just wipe through the rest of your team, and an overshield in my super. Supers are already so hard to take down. When they get an overshield in the super, it's just the most busted thing ever. Yeah. So,
especially the class with already the highest base super health.
Yeah.
I did not know that it was already I didn't know that was the thing.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess you haven't been playing much Crucible then.
No, I have. I use it when I mask. I just never really look at my health. I'm just especially if my
so you're part of the problem.
Oh, that's why. It's all making sense
I'll
now.
just shoulder charge. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. This is it's a winning helmet. I don't understand. I don't think I can die.
I mean, yeah. That's basically how the thing works. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're shooting,
If you die, it's probably just lag. So
yeah.
I did have one person bait me. What they did was I think they must have known that I was wearing the one I'm at. They had to have known because
did they Celestial Nighthawk you?
No, they stepped out. They and they shot me, and then another person came in there and because he was the one that was targeted. And so he never he stepped back out to kill me after that, but I don't know. It felt wrong. I felt cheated.
What? It sounds like you're describing an episode of Young and the Restless. That was
he was
very
around the corner and he knew the whole time.
Even though he didn't know. Yeah, it felt like he knew.
That coupled with the input limiter that they're putting on Titan skating to make it impossible is going to bring Titans from being, just well above every other class to probably equal.
So did they say that about the input limiter? What did they say about what?
I don't know. I think maybe that was a week that me and Huffy just did it by ourselves. You might not have been here that week, Exo. But basically they said that you're not going to be able to macro Titan skating anymore, and you're not going to be able to scroll wheel because you're just not going to be able to put that many inputs in.
But I thought they said they were going to make it so that you could do.
It's still going to be skill based, but it's going to be at a rate where you can actually press a physical button that many times. Yeah. You're not going to be able to right now it's 0.025 seconds or something is what people sample it at. Obviously no thumb can press a button that fast.
0.5,
yeah, so it'll be still that you could boost your speed by using that jump if you spam the button, but it won't be like it is right now. You can't get to those unnatural speeds.
Yeah, just the holy freaking I'm taking damage when I hit walls speed.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they even admitted that the speed of it was so fast that the netcode couldn't even keep up with how fast the player movement was.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely remember talking about this.
Yeah, because the tick rate is only 40 hertz. And so that's if you're moving at an input speed of 0.25 seconds, then you're just belting across the speed or the screen faster than the server can refresh. So not ideal.
Super fair. That sounds balanced to me.
Yes. It's just skill based, bro. Just get good.
So I mean, I guess I don't press it enough. I don't think I ever used Titan skating recently anyway. So I was I wasn't that Titan that also used the one-eyed mask and Titan skated all around the map.
Yeah. I just but there was something special about skating in T1, and you know what? We might never have that back, but it had its time, and it was skill-based then, but it
was it an engine thing?
Huh?
It was still a problem then, in my opinion, just because you didn't have to give anything up to do it. I always said if they want to be able to like have that be a part of the class, then it should be like you give up another ability or you have to like spec for mobility or something like that. But they never made it so you had to do anything to.
The fact that mobility worked opposite of how it should have. But still, you know, it was like it was good. It wasn't super overpowered, especially with the time to kill and like the way weapons, you know, how lethal everything was in D1. It's like if you were just skating around corners as fast as you could, you were just like you were pretty likely to get fucked. So it was fine.
Well, the addition of
with that in mind, I mean, you could like run into a wall, right?
No, I mean it was never fast enough to kill you like it is now.
No, I mean that's the downside in D2. You have to give up your control.
No,
where you could
because
like,
you can change directions so easily with mouse and keyboard. Yeah, where you couldn't really do that on controller in D1.
The thing about D2 on PC is that you can 180 shoulder charge, which
do you think that the Titan skating in D1 was a result of the engine, or do you think it was something else?
It was just physics. It's just the way the physics worked.
Yeah, it was just like the way that they designed that particular lift, like the forward momentum of it and how it was sampled and stuff.
Do you think we would have had worse Titan skating in D1 if Destiny 1 was on PC?
Possible. I have no idea.
Maybe.
Doesn't really matter.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, how similar the jump was in Destiny 1 to
Very
Destiny
dissimilar.
2.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, though, the problem is tied to frames per second, so I'm sure it would have been exaggerated more so on PC.
I never played the Titan in Destiny 1. I think I played I think I deleted... No, I know exactly what happened. I played 3 Hunters, deleted 2 Hunters after a while, created a Titan and a Warlock, deleted the Warlock, had 2 classes, Warlock or Titan and Hunter, and I never even played the Hunter or Titan. I only played the Hunter.
I mean, the same thing that let you. Oh, never mind. That's a long discussion. But
for what?
But yeah.
For what?
Just like the same thing that like makes better control, like that Titan ability, like that gives you the control jump on Hunter and the control jump on Titan are the same. Like, they just allow you to slightly change the direction of your momentum every time you activate jump. And that's why you're able to Hunter skate off ceilings, the same thing as what let you, like, Titan skate in D1. Because you were pressing the jump button as you were going down, and it had to send that momentum somewhere that wasn't up, so it sent it forward. So it works very different than Catapult, which gives you a small boost forward. And the way you take advantage of that in D2 is you just spam it faster than humanly possible. So it's like a super different system.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yo, that hoodie was sick. The Crimson Days hoodie.
Oh, did you get it?
Yeah, but like it's sick.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Also, this is controversial. Can I be controversial for a second?
Yeah. Let's see it. What? Oh boy. For our audio listeners,
Huffy is on his bed right now.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
He's straddling something.
We might all be getting banned in a minute.
I don't know. It's weird.
All right, so don't be mad.
Okay.
This thing is sick, dude.
Huffy's now stripping.
Oh yeah, I'm now
I don't know what's
stripping.
Happening.
Dude, check this thing out. It's like a Letterman jacket, bro.
Oh, okay. Dude, you finally got that.
It's fucking sick.
How is that controversial? Oh, because you didn't do it?
Yeah, because I got somebody to beat Ribbon for me. Dude, it's like...
It's pretty cool, though,
It's so sick, and it has, like, the tag on the side, Huffy. Bro.
It's a fucking
awesome,
dope
dude.
jacket, though.
It's dope as fuck. And, like,
That's nice. Dude, the lining's even cool. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That's
I'll,
awesome.
like, gladly be like,
shit.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it comes with these little tags so that you can choose, like there's a spot on the jacket for like a strip, and you can choose whether it's Titan, Hunter, or Warlock.
Oh, that's rad.
It's rad as fuck, dude.
Yeah, so, thanks, Dado.
Thanks, Dado. It's so funny.
Yeah, the
Wait,
jacket's
Dado
pretty
didn't
cool.
buy his?
Huh?
No, Dado was part of the raid group that got Huffy his jacket.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just math class. It's a math class raid. Bombed by
That's pretty awesome.
my hunter.
so you're the reason it was 2402, huh?
No.
It was another run after that because you had the whole weekend to get the jacket.
Oh, okay.
It was only the 24 hours for the emblem, which only 12 people got. Good times.
Good times.
All right, let's talk about shotguns. Let's just do it. Rip the Band-Aid
This is
off,
the
Huffy.
fucking worst. I'm so pissed at Destiny. Like, I have zero desire to play outside of the fact that my hands are literally on fire whenever I touch a mouse and keyboard. But I am pissed.
All right.
And why are you pissed?
So you want to elaborate?
So shotguns feel better in Apex.
Yeah.
Go on.
All right, so so first of all, why don't you read the change and then I'll give my opinion on it before I yell.
Okay, sure. All right, so a lot of these changes are PvE specific changes, but some of them are going to translate over into PvP anyway. So number one thing is, we'll start with the positives, that shotguns are getting a 100% damage buff, the double damage in PvE with the exception of Legend of Acreus. That's good.
That's good. PvE change. Good.
Nice.
So
I'm with it so far.
This is where the nerfs start. In PvE, they said that they have found that the full auto archetype is dominating PvE. That's unsurprising. We've seen, obviously, the Ikelos shotgun and now the new Scourge of the Past shotgun with trench barrel seem to dominate the PvE sandbox. So what they're doing is, in tandem with that 100% buff, they're bringing down the rate of fire bonus from being 100% faster to just 10% faster. And in addition, it's going to increase, it's no longer going to increase the shotgun pellet spread. I'm not sure about that wording. I think increase shotgun pellet spread means that that's actually a buff, because I guess with full auto before, the pellet spread was worse. Now it's going to be tighter.
Yep.
So, yeah. Okay. That's a weird, thing.
Maybe
now here's where things get weird. They have, for some reason, and I can't explain this. I'm not a shotgun user, but I looked at this and just went, I don't know what's going on here. They are changing literally every archetype, every single archetype, to be faster.
They're making all of them spammier. Yeah. And so they put this before. The reason that they're making them spammier is because of the fifth point, where they talk about reducing the range of shotguns in PvP. And so they're trying to make up for that by increasing their rate of fire. But I don't think, it doesn't make sense that people are complaining about spammy shotguns. So they make every shotgun less of a skill shot and more spammy and reduce people's incentive to use, low rate of fire, heavy hitting shotguns, because now those probably, we don't know yet, but will probably not have very good one-shot potential. They're already kind of inconsistent. I just don't see how destroying one archetype of shotgun, right? The most fair type of shotgun, I think we can all agree, was the 45 RPM. It was pretty consistent, but you had to get in there. If you miss the shot, if you ape into a room and you miss the shot, you're screwed, because it's forever before you can shoot again, which is super fair. That's gone. The lowest rate of fire shotguns are now the same as a Dustrock Blues, which is,
Dustrocks are dirty.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And now the Dustrock is going to shoot faster and be less. I think the meta for PvP is now going to be rapid fire shotguns, because they're not going to be consistent if they reduce the range. They've proven in the past that they're range and consistency are connected at the core, and they're incapable of just adjusting range. I would understand if all shotguns worked similar to the Legend of Acreus. With the Acreus, there's a sharp cutoff in range, and it feels you can feel it, where it is. Like if you're in range of the shot, like you're getting the kill, and if you're not, then you're not. You know, but other shotguns work differently.
Just to wrap up the changes here, aside from the archetype changes, there's going to be the ammo reserves. This is just a PvE change. I'm sure this won't really translate to PvP much. The ammo reserves have been reevaluated because of having more damage.
Back to the drawing board.
But so they don't. This is the weird thing about this wording. They don't say what they're doing to it, actually. I mean, the whole thing's vague. We've been getting these patch notes previews where they're not giving us numbers, but this doesn't even say if it's a negative or positive change. It just says reevaluated. It has to be negative based on what they're saying, but they don't say we're reducing the ammo reserves. They say, like, we're looking at them again. I don't know what that means, you know?
It's just going to feel weird. Like, even from a PvE perspective, it's going to feel less rewarding to use a shotgun. Because if they reduce the amount of ammo you have, then there's, like, less time than that you're spending with your shotgun. So, like, yeah, it's like a bigger shot. You can take down things. But it's, like, just more time with your primaries in hand. Which is, you know, it's whatever. But I think we've kind of, like, expressed, like, dissatisfaction in the past with primary-based PvE, you know?
Yeah.
Well, but I think that what this is gonna do is tighten up damage phases. Ideally, I think so. Like when you look at something like Shirochi, it's gonna be like a lot quicker that people are burning her. Yeah. You know. So we'll have to see how that plays out in the sandbox. But I don't think that. I don't know how much they're going to reduce it by, but I don't think that having a smaller ammo reserves is going to really affect PvP because no one really is ever at the max anyway.
Yeah, you'll just get 2 shots.
Right. So then the last thing is that they are toning down the range at which shotguns can secure a one-shot kill. Now, I have to say, I'm definitely not as mad as Huffy, but I think that this might be overdone, just because I've been playing a little bit recently, not any competitive or anything like that, but I've been playing a little bit of PvP since Last Word came out, and I am finding that unless somebody is literally using Chaperone, they can't close the gap on me fast enough to one-shot kill me anyway, unless they flank me. Yeah. So if people are running a straight line as it is, it's completely impossible for them to just like slide into me and before I can mow them down. Yeah. So to reduce them even further, I don't know, like if that makes any sense, especially most of these archetypes. Yeah. And on top of it, they're going to have less range because of the archetype changes being faster. I think the range I don't know. More of this seems like a mess, but we don't know how much that's going to be. I really need to see the patch notes, and I really need to see how this plays out. But I don't think I would have hit them in so many different ways all at once. You know, it seems like a lot.
It just adds to the fact it like buffs. That's like technically a rapid fire buff in itself, because the thing that makes the lower round per minute shotguns like so consistent is their high impact. They have a low range stat, you know, by nature. And if that's like even lower, then the highest range shotguns are going to be the rapid fire shotguns, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And ideally what I would have liked to see rather than all this, I think what they needed to do was just honestly tone back the amount of ammo you can get because of shotgun's nature, where you're constantly picking up ammo of the people that you kill in close quarters. Just let them get a little bit less per brick than they have been getting.
It's probably a response to people who are just complaining about the fact that
no, this is a data response. I can tell you, we've talked about this before, but you look at the data and you know that shotguns are outclassing primaries because of their ease of use. I mean, it's like 25 to 28% of all kills in the Crucible are shotgun kills. So they're just looking at that with no context and saying we need to make an adjustment to the sandbox. It's unfortunate, but I mean, look, we have a problem here because I've mentioned this before. But what is this? When you read these sandbox changes, what does it say? It says, developer commentary from sandbox designer Victor Anderson. Who? Again with this guy. Yeah. Dude, is the main development team just like not working on the game right now? Like that's what it seems
that
like.
That could be a good thing.
Exactly.
It could be.
It doesn't seem like it.
That's exactly what's happening.
Can I ask you a question, Recked?
Yeah.
What would you think, right, as like instead of like this kind of change, like reducing like shots in the magazine for a shotgun to like 2 or 3? That way you would have to like fully reload, like instead of being able to ape around.
It's not a terrible idea, except I think that's only going to reduce the lethality of a skilled player. The people who suck and are just respawning and then like emptying their shotgun are going to be unaffected by a change like that.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Sweet. I don't know. Well, I just like shutting down apes with my last word. That's all I'm happy about right now.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to have a problem with that.
Good.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit easier for you.
It's going to be even easier to do that.
Last word.
But
feels
I'll
so
tell
good.
you what, man. I'm gonna say. I know you're saying that the full auto ones are going to be still the choice. I've been watching a lot of Ninja with Noel, and let me tell you, I think that people are sleeping on the Chaperone. The Chaperone is kind of crazy.
I don't think people are sleeping on it.
Range.
It's so powerful.
You hit the heads. It's disgusting. It's bad.
Like I watched a couple clips of him literally just pulling off, 4 or 5 multi kills without reloading the freaking gun. I mean, that's unheard of for like a special weapon. You know, that's pretty crazy.
I have this clip of an 11 piece on my Insta that's like literally just like sliding like forward through a spawn on Midtown, just like 1, 2, 3. Like the gun's dumb. It with Spectral.
Oh yeah, it's over. Yeah, you know where everybody is. It's fucked up.
So you aim for the head, dude.
Yeah.
And the aim assist on it is like you really just have to shoot somebody in the shoulder.
Yeah, as long as you're like looking towards the head, you're fine.
Yeah.
So the last sandbox change to mention, and it's interesting that they put this in here because this really should have went into the Gambit section, which we'll talk about in a second. But they're adjusting linear fusion rifles because of Gambit. They don't want them to be as effective at super long ranges. And also, I guess in the process of doing this, they discovered that the Queenbreaker was accidentally doubling its aim assist by accident. Which is why we were seeing these crazy headshots where you aim at their feet and it literally just hits them in the head for some reason.
So now you just have to aim at their body though, and it's all good.
I'm so angry.
So all this is going to get fixed. The linear fusion rifle aim assist is going to get reduced, and they're going to get PvE damage of 10% buff just to compensate for it. But let me say though, in Gambit, this is not going to be the silver bullet you guys are like everyone's looking for, because I'm going to call it right now. People are just going to go back to using Sleeper Simulant. Yeah, they nerfed the aim assist on that, but like it's a one-hit body shot weapon. So
did you guys read the changes to Season of the Drifter? Like the way Gambit's changing, or no?
Yeah, and we can talk about that.
I mean, I was going to say it's weird. Frankie says he wants to get the last word now. Basically, the last word is the most overpowered gun in the game, right?
It's fantastic.
It's so good.
I don't think it's overpowered at all.
No, but it should be that. Like that's what the gun should be. I guess
it's what it should be. Is it overpowered? No.
The fastest time to kill of any primary, but I don't think it's overpowered.
Yeah, as a super high skill guy,
by an ace. Yeah. So I mean, it's not. I don't know.
What were you getting at though, XO?
I don't know. Like I don't personally, I don't think it has that high of a skill gap. But
did we all actually take the Ambient? Is that what happened here?
I don't know if that's what I mean. What I'm trying to say.
People that aren't in the chat don't know about that.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem killing people with the last word. So
the Guardian,
if it has a super high skill gap, I guess I'm good at the game. I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean.
But what does this have to do with Gambit, though? I don't know what you're like. Let's talk about Gambit. So the last word.
Frankie mentioned the last word is what I was. Well, no, actually, what I wanted to talk about was the shotguns in Apex.
They're consistent.
We're talking shotguns and Apex.
And not overpowered.
All right, XO, before you go any further, I need to know what kind of drugs you're on, and you're going to have to give some to us so that we're on the same page.
You got to share, dude. It's not
here
fair.
we are. Let's talk about Gambit.
Word.
The last word. I actually wanted to talk about shotguns and Apex.
No.
That is a roller coaster of a thought process. But so they are making all sorts of changes to Gambit. They're trying, guys. They're really trying to make this game type be good.
I don't know.
I just want them to give up and say like, we fucked up, y'all.
I don't think blockers are really going to spice it up as much as we'd like. It's.
I like the blockers change.
I do too. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just it's not gonna make people want to go in and play. You know, the third round change isn't gonna make want people.
All right,
to
so
play.
I'm not going to read this line by line, but just to summarize, the big changes are that they're going to de-incentivize throwing out small blockers and make it more worth it to, high risk reward of banking more motes to send bigger blockers. That's the goal there. And then the other thing is that they want to add this lightning round as round 3, and change how the super spam is affecting it, as well as the other big change is changing the invader spawns, which is good to stop you from getting immediately killed because of predictable spawns as an invader. But one of the biggest problems with Gambit is that the invader has so many advantages once they get in there, and they did nothing to address that at all, which is one of the biggest things. So what I would have liked to see, and I had this thought during Crimson Doubles, is if you guys played Crimson Doubles, you noticed the indicators that show up when you're when the two people are separated from each other weren't consistent. If you scoped in, they disappeared, and they would kind of pulsate as they came closer together and stuff like that. If they applied a similar system to that in Gambit, so that you couldn't just measure below a little icon to know exactly where people's heads were, it would probably be an improvement.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that they need to scrap the invader system and start fresh with that idea, Like
Gambit was fun though when we first started playing though,
because no one knew how to play it. That's why.
True.
Yeah, but then when we started, we're like, hey, we know how to play this game now, and it's like, I don't know, having an entire expansion be revolved around the Gambit and the changes that they're making are kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't really told us anything about the Season of the Drifter. That's just the change
thing,
to
right?
the normal.
Except for Thorn, we know we're getting Thorn.
Thorn,
so
and
I
this
will
minor
say
change
this.
to regular Gambit. We're getting another Gambit mode, is what they've told us.
Right.
So this isn't
everything.
Are we?
That's what they've said. Yeah.
In response to what you're saying, Eddie, I'm concerned too that we've heard nothing about this next season or expansion, but I did read, like I said, through the comments of this TWAB, and one of the things people said is, hey, are we ever going to find out any details about the upcoming season and Joker's Wild and before it comes out? And they said, stay tuned, you're going to hear details very soon. So I don't know if that means this week.
They said that last week too. They said very soon last week. You would think we'd get something this week. Because
there's only 2 weeks left, so we got to get something soon.
You would assume, it's
maybe
getting
they're
frustrating
still on the Activision release schedule, so they have to
let's blame Activision.
We can't even blame Activision anymore. That's the worst part.
Well, no, because the timing of all these announcements and everything is still kind of in Activision's purview, right? Because they're still overseeing it, because they're still
Activision is still involved with the money of this release schedule until after Season of Redacted.
So
but
Activision's still to blame here.
I don't know.
What? I like that scapegoat. It's a good scapegoat.
I was super
I'm just saying
about the Activision split until I found out the Trials wasn't coming back, and now I'm kind of on the fence where it's like, yo, man, maybe they were just like, fuck this game.
Maybe they were as bad as you were. Yeah.
We're not going down with that ship. You can't tell them that Trials isn't coming back until we break up.
I mean, no Trials, no Sparrow Racing League. What the hell? What's going on here?
Dude.
but you can see the cloak in the preview screen.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's coming. That is coming.
Good point.
But I mean, look, it's like we keep saying though. There's these sandbox designers that are being interviewed in here that are obviously not the main sandbox designers, and they're all working on whatever the next title is, and however that's going to work, we have no idea. But it's great that we're going to get details about this season of the Drifter and stuff soon. But honestly, no matter how far out it is, I need to know what the next project they're working on is. I don't need to know details of, how exactly it's going to play and what the sandbox will be like. But I want to know, what I'm investing in this franchise by, putting my time into this game. Is it worth it for people to grind out the titles? Probably not, but we don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Right.
Because we don't know if Destiny 2 is just ending this year,
Right.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
a good point, yeah.
I haven't, do I want to go get the Unbroken title?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I have no idea, especially if it's going to end. I really don't want to do that. It's putting yourself through hell with the matchmaking system, how it is.
Yeah,
so,
especially now that they pooped on it even further.
Yeah, right. So these are questions we do need answers to, and I really hope that they are a little more transparent with us soon. Like I said, you don't have to tell us hey, this is how many strikes there's going to be and stuff like that. But I'd like to know, hey, we're working on a new game. It's going to be a clean wipe or whatever, and we're aiming for this kind of a release. We're not going to hold you to it. This is our estimated time that we're working on it. Here's the plan for Destiny 2 moving forward until then. Here's what's going to carry over. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we need to hear about kind of soon.
But not all of the Destiny fan player base is as calm as us and as respectful as us. A lot of them are like, oh, cool, you told me about it, give it to me now, I want it yesterday. I think maybe they'd have to kind of guard themselves a little bit because of that. I mean, yes, I would love to know what's coming. I would love to have some sort of massive roadmap to look forward to, because that's fun. It's fun to anticipate. But some people just want it now, and they want it yesterday, dude. I don't know. I wonder if that's why they wouldn't tell us anything.
No, it really comes down to other options being either cheaper or free to play.
No, I just worry. This is what I'm concerned about. Apex dropped out of nowhere and was a huge success, and if they're trying to mimic that, it's not going to work because this IP already exists. People are already investing their time into it. If your plan is to just wait until you're ready to release this to tell anybody anything about it, you're going to have people up in arms because people are putting time into this game and we have no idea what the hell's going on with it. Yeah. And it's just going to get worse. The population's going to keep dying down and people are going to be more angry. So
games as a service does not work when you ask someone to spend $60 on the game. No. It only works when there's cosmetics or we know.
I completely disagree with that. I think games as a service don't work as a free-to-play game.
We know from watching EA,
especially investment looter shooters.
Well, we know from watching EA that you can't put progression-based loot boxes in the game without getting people upset. That frustrates people.
Right.
So the only way you can monetize a loot box is by making it cosmetic.
Right, but that I mean, if you're talking about a BR, that's fine. But when you're talking about
I'm talking about games as a service in general. I think that
but look at Anthem, man. People, let me tell you something.
One of two things.
There is no armor in Anthem because those are skins that they want you to pay for to monetize the game going forward.
Right.
And it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. It just takes the excitement out of loot. It's not something I want to see in this game at all.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that. I'm saying games it's gonna go one of two ways. It's gonna games are going to get more expensive. Games are going to go back to the old model of free of subscription methods, or more companies are going to get on the free to play bandwagon. And
it depends what kind of game it is. I think, honestly,
I mean,
maybe, but it depends on how crazy Apex is. How forward thinking they are with their loot boxes and how they are.
So I mean,
why do you think games are going to get more expensive though?
Yeah, I mean the big thing about Destiny 2, right? About just like the Destiny franchise in general is like we started out like Destiny started with this dream of an MMO looter shooter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we've been trying to move in that direction, like dealing with the the setbacks of like the studio and the setbacks of the hardware that they're developing for whatever. It's always like been this like dream of an MMO and like moving towards like that, and like loot boxes in an MMO just aren't a thing that's ever fit. Like it's never fit into the, like if you look at something like WoW,
Well,
you have like
the
pets
Eververse,
and
But what about the Eververse?
People
That's a loot
hate
box.
Eververse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a loot box in the same way that Apex's loot boxes work.
Exactly, but it's non-congruent.
That's not a good thing.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And the difference is that it's not just like Apex because so you're trying to get like good armor and stuff. It's a looter shooter in Destiny, and you can get the same armor from Iron Banner that you can get in a loot box. You can get the same perks. Like you can't get enhanced on anything in Iron Banner. You can't get enhanced on anything in like old trials. You can't get enhanced on anything in competitive PvP.
Mm-hmm.
So you can spend $1 jillion and have a set of armor that's like equivalent or better to something that you would get from Iron Banner, which is supposed to be high tier PvP. So it doesn't work in the same way because there is no investment in Apex. Every game starts you off as a blank slate. And so they're just skins. But in Destiny 2, it's gear. And it's gear that's just as good as your gear. It's light level 10, so fucking what?
No,
but how the gear looks is important. Like, people actually want to grind for aesthetic things. The way that Destiny
sold that 10 level thing, though, isn't because they wanted to do it that way. It was because they wanted to create a transmogrify system that like World of Warcraft has, but they didn't have the technology to do that. It's pretty obvious when they sell a set that's 10 power level or whatever.
Maybe, but my favorite hunter cloak in the game comes from a loot box, and there's nothing to make any of the other hunter cloaks in the game more valuable to me. There's nothing that makes them better.
Right.
It's so...
And I'll say this too. So, like, if in this type of investment type game, a lot of the excitement is seeing somebody's armor or gun or whatever, and you see it and you say, that's really cool. I know what they did to get that.
Yeah.
And if you say, oh, this is a cool looking thing and it comes from microtransaction, it immediately takes the excitement out of it because I don't really want it anymore at that point, just because I know it can be obtained from just real money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I think they should have built the tech to build in the transmogrify system a little bit better so that they didn't have to make the decisions that they made with the Eververse making it.
That would be...
I don't think they had to make those decisions.
Yeah.
They chose to make those decisions.
Well, I know because they literally wanted to shoot themselves in the foot.
Well, see,
because the way that you make that content is you make the visual appearance a completely separate thing.
Yeah, I mean, that would be fine, right? Like, transmog is cool, but the point of transmog is to get good stats while showing off, like, what you've worked for. But there is no activity in the game other than the raid, maybe, kind of, that has gear that is, like, of huge accomplishment. Like, in World of Warcraft, right? Everyone who was, like, around for BT has transmogged their Warglaves of Azeroth onto fucking everything, but like we don't have Warglaves of Azeroth in Destiny 2. We don't have anything that's really hard to get. We just have stuff that you bought with tokens. You just throw a shit ton of tokens into a machine and like it spits gear back at you with kind of random rolls.
I don't think the Destiny community could handle the World of Warcraft drop rates.
Yeah, but at least that there would be something to work for.
There wasn't a Warglaive like 0.5% drop rate or something like that.
No, it was like 0.01.
Here's another point of that though. In World of Warcraft, you don't have the same kind of weekly lockouts on that kind of loot that you do in Destiny. In Destiny, you get three chances a week.
No, you have one a week.
Really?
Yeah, you have one.
Yeah, one a week per character.
Oh, well,
and it's saved to the character. You can't transfer it.
Interesting. Yeah, I just assumed it was because I used to play EverQuest, and I mean there was no like weekly reset timer, so it was just whatever you could farm.
They have stuff that's bind on equip, and then there's stuff that's bind on pickup, and everything that you buy, you get in a dungeon or a raid is that's like from a boss that you would want is bind on pickup.
Yeah, but you can just leave it on the mob and roll on it. So like, there's like a whole like thing in that.
Oh, so you can only earn one a week, you're saying?
Potentially.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. In Destiny, you can only like do one raid a week. Whether you get what you want or not, it doesn't matter. Your character can't get loot more than once.
It's basically the same way. Only the difference is like
you can not pick it up. You're saying, and then you can have another chance at it if you want to do it again.
No, Black Temple. Once you kill the boss, your chance to get that is done for the week. And there's people
because then you're instanced to that raid, so you wouldn't be able to enter a raid where he was still alive.
Ashes of Alar is a mount that comes from Tempest Keep, and it's a 1% drop rate because all the mounts are 1% drop rate now. And you could have done it for 56. Like you could have done it since the raid came out and still not have it today.
Okay, that's crazy.
Oh, it's like me in 1K. Makes sense.
Yeah,
but you only have one chance to get it. But there, at least with mounts are across your entire account, so you can have all of your 10 characters do it potentially. And
10 characters.
But the 1K is 6.
Oh, sorry, 11 characters now.
Oh, jeez.
And if there were like 50 other things in Destiny that were like the 1K where it required like, where it was something difficult to do that you had to grind for, like, I don't think that would be a terrible thing,
Right. And people would probably care less about not having the 1K because it wouldn't be that one thing you don't have. There'd be a lot of stuff you don't have.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's just it though, and that's more to I think more to solving Huffy's problem with the game is more loot. Like having a looter shooter that doesn't have enough loot in it is a problem where you have to go to the Eververse to get the loot that you want. We have lots of opportunities for sets that they still haven't taken advantage of.
Yeah.
We have strike specific, like a strike specific set. We have condition specific raid sets, maybe.
Yeah.
Like a set like that. That's something they could do. They could do. I know they said they're not doing prestige, but there is there's a set for that they could do for titles that they could do.
There needs to be
there's a
PvP
lot of stuff
armor
that they can do, but they're doing none of it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what the hell they're working on again. But
how many strikes are there?
I've never counted them, but there's at least like
15.
Let's say
there's at least one or two on every planet.
That they made a themed set for each character for each strike that you could farm to get the piece from, and it only drops from the final boss. One of the pieces only drops from the final boss. How long that would take
them, Exo? Do you remember how they said that they were working on the Nightfall specific weapons? And remember they said, it's going to take extra time. It took 3 months for them to make literally 2 weapons that were unique looking. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about individual sets for every strike. No.
Yeah, but at this point, like, what else are they doing? Are they building an engine? Are they like what the heck?
I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea.
They're making sick hoodies for the Bungie store.
Yeah, they are. It's exactly what
here's
they're doing.
my thing, right? Like, if you remember back before Forsaken, there was a rapid fire question, and someone asked the question that was asked, will there ever be a faster Sparrow speed? And they said no. No, there will never be a faster Sparrow speed.
Why do you need a faster Sparrow speed?
Dude, that's I don't remember that. I'd like you to send that to me. But interestingly, that is the most definitive I feel like they've ever been about anything. They usually don't like to close the door to any suggestions. Like
no, they did. I'll have to find it. I'll find it for you.
That's
for
hilarious, sure. Dude. But I mean,
it was Cosmo that said no. He said no.
At this point, all of that is like good, and I think that
it's also up in the air too.
We need that. I just gotta be really selfish right now and say nothing will bring me back to this game other than like I'm still gonna play it, but nothing will bring me back to no liking this game other than support for high tier PvP. There needs to be some kind of actual not bullshit ranked some kind of like tournament, like some kind of actual effort towards esports. There's just too many other good games now, and Destiny was just like the thing that felt like really great that you played because everything sucked. But now there's like a lot of stuff that doesn't.
It
On
felt
that
good, and
note,
now games have just amped up.
Well, on that note, I actually want to push back a little bit because I have like an experience to share here. I don't know if any of you guys have been playing Anthem. Have any of you?
No.
Eddie? No? Okay. So I played probably 3 straight days of Anthem after launch. I beat the campaign. I'm almost max level, not quite there. And I was having a lot of fun with it at first. There is a lot of unique things that Destiny doesn't do. The flight is amazing. That's really what got me into the game. The mobility and stuff that you can do in that game are a lot of fun. But after putting a certain amount of time into it, I did start to realize some things. Number one, I was talking with Huffy about this. I don't really know why it's a looter shooter because the guns don't do anything. I'm not exaggerating that. I'm not saying that to be funny. You really shouldn't use the guns. It's better to just use your abilities the entire time. So it's basically like a flying World of Warcraft with less abilities is what it kind of feels like. It's fun. I'm not taking away from that, but it's definitely not a shooter. Like the guns, they need a complete overhaul if that's supposed to be the focus of the game.
Did any of you by chance watch Angry Joe's review in progress?
No, I watched Skill Up's review and he made a lot of good points about it. Another thing is there's one map. There is one map in the whole game. It's a big map, but the entire thing looks exactly the same. It would be like if Zelda Breath of the Wild didn't have any snow or lava or anything. It was just like one big grassy area that all looks similar. It'd be like if Destiny released and was like, hey guys, we only have the EDZ at launch.
Yeah, no.
So
if the
that
EDZ
is a
was
problem.
a little bit bigger.
No, the EDZ is not as big as this, especially vertically. There's a lot of vertical space to this.
I mean, the EDZ would have to be bigger for that to be.
Yeah, it would have to be bigger. I'd say you can get around the whole map, and if you circled it, it'd probably take 15, 20 minutes. But it all looks the same. So it makes it really hard to even tell where the hell you are. Another big thing that people have been complaining about, rightfully so, is this is a 2019 title, and there is loading screens to hell. I mean, I've never seen a game.
I was going to say
like
that
this.
was the big thing about Angry Joe. He said, like, he actually on his Twitter, he said that he was doing a mission and he spent 5 minutes and 8 seconds in loading screens, and he spent 4 minutes and 48 seconds doing the actual mission. So there was more loading screens than there were missions. And like in one in particular that he was working on in his review in progress, he mentioned that he needed chests to go to the next part to open up the next gate or whatever.
Yeah, the tombs, yeah.
And he would get into the free. Not only would it take 4 minutes to get into the free play mission because it just took forever for people to load in with him, but if someone else looted that chest because they just did, it was just a chest that was just sitting on the ground. I mean, you're not gonna know, but he needs that, and it disappears if you're not there to get it. Not if you're not there to get it. At launch, you had to be the one who opened the chest, or it didn't count. You had to personally doesn't
open
count
it.
for you, right? So he was sitting there and watching the free play guys that he was with, just randoms, open up the chest, and then when they quit, it quit out him. It ended his free play session. So he would have to
load back
into the map with another set of free play people to hope to get.
But more so than that, there's loading screens I want to point out. Okay, it's one thing to have a loading screen to get into the world. Even Destiny has that. They obfuscate it by the flying ship. But it's a loading screen. We won't,
most
try
of
and
it's
sugarcoat
matchmaking.
it.
The loading screen is the actual loading thing on the bottom.
But still, it is a loading screen. But so once you're into Anthem, here's where I really have a problem. There's like caves and stuff that you can go in within the world that make you go through another loading screen when you're already
pretty
there.
Small caves from what I've seen. Like
really, really small caves. Here's another problem. You can't access your inventory from free play. You can only access it from the post game or social space. It's called the Forge. Loading screen to get into your inventory. So that is, I was playing this, I overlooked a lot of this stuff because I was having just fun spamming abilities and flying. But let me tell you something. I came back to Destiny the other night, and it just made me like appreciate all the little things. Yeah. And I just had a lot of fun playing Destiny and being back to it. I'm gonna say this. I don't know if I'm like completely done with Anthem right now. I'm not like trying to bash on it super hard or anything, but I do think I'm just about out of content, and I'm probably gonna cancel my Origin subscription until they add some serious content and stuff to the game before I think it's worth checking out again.
I think Frankie was telling me that PC Gamer gave it a 55% or a 5.5 out of 10.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, okay. So Destiny is like that really...
It's not a terrible game, but the expectations were so high because it was in development for 6 years.
Well, that's the same
and
thing
they spent
Destiny.
3 years of that marketing the game
right.
very well.
The original Destiny was in development. Destiny 2 was in development for a long time as well.
Not 6 years, dude.
No, I mean, but Destiny in general, though, it was
only 3 years from the time Destiny 1 dropped until Destiny 2. So I don't think they spent all of that time on Destiny 2. So 6 years, we're not even close to that. But I don't know what they've been doing all this time. To be honest, they've made a lot of the same mistakes that a lot of looter shooters have made, and some more. It just seems like they have not really learned anything from the industry,
So some people are giving Fallout 76 a better review.
All that being no, that's just not true.
No, dude, Fallout 76
I will say this: as hard as I'm being on the game, it was worth my $15. I had fun with it. The campaign's pretty good. It's better than Destiny's story, that's for sure. But it's not up to, from what I've heard, BioWare's level of storytelling. I've never played a Mass Effect game, but they are renowned for their storytelling.
Yeah.
Overall, I definitely got my $15 worth. I don't think it's a $60 title. I don't think it's worth $60. But if you want to try it out, you're bored, you have nothing else to play, I don't think it's a waste of money to put your $15 into it and play through the campaign. But you just got to be disciplined, cancel it when you're not playing the game anymore until they add more to the game. I think it'll probably be in a better place in like a year.
Yeah.
I just brought up Fallout 76 to bring up the fact that Bethesda banned a player that played the game because they said he had too much ammo. He played the game for 900 hours, so presumably he's the only person who actually likes the game. He played the game for 900 hours and was swapping ammo back and forth. And so what it looks like on Bethesda's end, I guess they're investigating it now, but what it looked like on Bethesda's end was that he was the pickup item with the ammo shows as a pickup. So when you go to transfer it, it shows up as a second, like a pickup for them. So on their end, they see it like, oh, he's got like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of ammo. So he's got too much ammo. We need to ban him.
Yeah.
So
they've had a bad problem with duping.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't duping.
I know that he didn't dupe, but there's a lot of people that are duping. And so they were just like
who cares?
Suspicious.
The game sucks. Just let him dupe.
Yeah.
No, but like all he was doing was he's like, I mean, I'm just trying out weapons. Like, so I'm transferring weapons and ammo. That's all I was doing. And they're investigating it now, but he's banned right now.
You'll get banned.
Dude, that game is so bad that they honestly should have just shut down the servers and refunded everybody their money. That's how bad that game is.
Dude.
Yeah.
They should have like just taken all the money that they made from that game and like flown everybody who bought it like
oh my god,
like down to New Orleans and taken them to a strip club and just been like, sorry about that. Like,
no,
we're sorry.
Just pay for a plane ticket for the people who bought like the big stupid edition.
The like big stupid edition.
The $250 edition. The big stupid version of the game that's got like the stupid things.
Action figures and
like,
stuff.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So you take those people and you take them, you bring them to the studio.
Right.
I'm dead.
How long has the stream been live?
7 years.
About an hour and
Eddie, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Was there something you wanted to say about Anthem?
Oh, yeah. So you were talking about going from Anthem back to Destiny and how nice and refreshing it was and how you really appreciated it. You know,
Yeah.
Destiny is like one of those girlfriends you had, right? She may
Oh,
not have been
boy.
the prettiest girlfriend,
Yes.
she may not have been the best girlfriend, but damn it, she was good to you, and you really appreciate her. And then you had that really hot girl, and you know now you really understand how good Destiny really was to you. You know,
Yeah.
There you go.
that's my
Good
thought.
point.
Like there's there's all these wonderful new games out
She
there.
was
that are-
abusive, but
Right. You know,
know.
she didn't treat you the best, but she made the best chicken pot pie, right? Like, there's these other games that are great, but when it comes down to it, like, we all know we're going to play Destiny again, regardless. Like, we're going to
For
come
sure.
back to it. So, it's one of those things.
Yeah. It feels too good.
Yeah.
It feels really
She
good.
just feels right, you
And
know?
dude, the
like,
muscle memory, like I was worried. I jumped back into the Crucible. I was like, man, I'm gonna suck. I haven't really been playing much in like 2 weeks, and I just went in there and was like shitting on people. I was like, this game is great.
yeah, Apex has made me a lot more aggressive and
yeah, with your one-eyed mask, probably, yeah.
I'm dead.
especially with that, yeah.
What's your thoughts on Apex, Huffy? Have you been playing it?
Very little.
Mozambique needs a buff.
Just because I can't, but
Right.
every second that I've spent in it has been incredible.
Okay.
I love the game.
So apparently, I'm the only one who hasn't enjoyed their time in it.
Well, you just
in
don't
the
like
whole
BRs,
world.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
to be fair,
I don't actually see it as a BR. I see it more of as an arena shooter that you pick up loot in instead of like it feels more. I don't know how to describe it.
I mean, it has
it's
very arena shooter movement. It
Yeah.
has more of that style. But
I haven't loved Apex. Honestly, it's one of those games where it's really fun to fuck around with friends, but other than that, it's boring. It's just another BR, honestly.
yeah, well, you
Wow.
want investment,
just another
right? Like
BR.
you want to
want-
invest in
yeah.
a game. Yeah, and that's
I
like
want to have some reason to keep coming back, not just
Yeah.
dropping and killing things. Like it's fun and all, but
Let's drop and kill some things. Mozambique.
for a lot of people, the fact that there isn't investment, for the fact that it's like kind of like a sport, in the fact that like you come back and like even though you're busy or whatever, like you drop in like at the same spot as like everyone else on the map. It's not like
as
soccer
far
where
as
you.
being casual, yeah, I get like
Yeah.
it's a super great game for casual people who
Oh,
love
no,
a casual shooter.
I actually, when I jumped in, I really wanted to like it. I didn't expect it to be a looter shooter. I really just was hoping for more of a Titanfall-esque experience because, it's really like similar to Titanfall. But I don't know, there was just so many things I couldn't pick up on, and the learning curve is like super annoying when you're jumping in and you have no idea how to play a BR or manage inventory or anything like that. So
That's understandable.
For me, it's just a fun to play, quick thing you can get in and out of a game. Like it's so much faster than any game that I've played. It's so little downtime with like if you die, you go right back into the next game and you're in there in a couple of seconds. And sure, that has to do with player population, but it also has to do with the fact that it's free to play. And the other half of that is that I think that the business model of a free-to-play game in the sense of Apex and Fortnite, even though I don't like Fortnite that much, is that it's a more honest in these days.
there's no building.
Well,
So that's good.
it's a more
Yeah,
honest
it's-
way of how they're making their money. You know exactly how they're making their money. You know exactly where they're getting it from. With games today, you pay $60, you buy the season pass, you know where that money's going. But then you have loot boxes that there's like questions for how much it's going to be. Like, yes, those questions still exist for Apex, but it's a much like, especially for an EA title. And I know I'm not giving EA the benefit of the doubt there because I know they could totally screw it up with just making things way too expensive.
I just feel like a lot of my skills from like experience with arena shooters just didn't really transfer to a BR environment. Like, so I'm very used to like learning map awareness through radar, and audio cues where, like, if I hear somebody shoot, I can pretty much tell a general area of where they're standing just based on where I'm facing, where I'm standing, and like radar. And when I watch people play this game, I just have no idea what the fuck's going on because they're staring off in the distance looking for like 1 or 2 pixels to be moving really far away. And then I'm like, how can you even see that? I mean, I know it's like in a stream, it's like even worse quality, but still it's like,
it is.
Man, it's so tiny. You can't aim for their head. You're just aiming for like something and hoping that like that they strafe into. I don't know. It's really it's different.
Yeah, it really is.
You can't play with audio. Like I had to turn off any music that I was listening to.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I want to be able to hear footsteps around in the area that I'm in.
Yeah, so it's very dissimilar to arena shooters in the sense that in a BR, it's very much like not about, you know, like, oh, how am I going to play this engagement? It's like, when am I going to play this engagement? And like, when am I going to allow myself to like open that engagement up, like based on advantage, you know, like, and, you know, arena shooters, like you're trying to rack up points. You can take, you know, you can make plays and take engagements where you like don't have advantage. But like the reason people are like looking out into the open and looking for like those dots is because they're predicting like rotations based on like the map as a whole and like playing the circle and just trying to make sure that they're always like entering an engagement with advantage or like rotating away from that like when it's not there. So like an arena shooter, like depending on the score, even if you're like at a disadvantage, you can take an engagement, you know, with the chance that you'll like outskill the person. But BRs are really about just like positioning, like on like very much macro positioning, you know, always like engaging with height, engaging with first shot, engaging with like skill advantage and engaging with like correctly ranged weapons. Whereas like, you know, none of those are like something that you ever think about in quick play, you know, or like comp for that matter. It's just like, all right, let me big dick it and outplay these people, you know. But the outplaying in something like Apex, even though it's a very physical game, is way less about like muscle memory and way less about landing your shots than like when you take those shots. You know, so it's just a totally different experience.
Yeah, like Dizzy or Dinosaurus, who's actually, Diegosaurus is actually ranked number 1. I found out that Dizzy is not even ranked number 1 as far as in kills. Like audio, like Diegosaurus, I think is his name. He's got like over 8,000 kills. And you'll watch him and Dizzy just kind of do the same thing where they'll play the arena way. And they'll rotate where their team is focusing in one, and then they'll rotate. And it's like the simple rotation almost gets them every time. So like when they go to engage, you'll see 2 people go one direction and then he'll go off and go do his own thing, you know, and then he'll come back to it and then end up winning the fight because it's going to be about, it's like he said, it's positional awareness, but it's also map awareness with where you are in relation.
It's just rotating into advantage, you know, like, oh, I'm in a situation where I'm fighting at pill, rotate, you know, whereas like in Destiny, you just
what
take
inspired you to get that nose ring.
Oh,
sorry.
I wanted to get one, and so I got one.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, yeah, I still feel like your time with Apex is yet to come, Recked. You really haven't. I don't think you found the right character, is what it is.
I can't even say that that's the case because I never learned the character.
You need to play Bangalore. Just like log on, click Bangalore,
dude.
Have a good time.
What are you talking about? Come on.
I think there's like maybe I don't see it, but with Destiny and Halo and games that I've enjoyed in the arena shooter environment, there is like a lot of visual feedback that really like gives me this sense of gratification. When I snipe somebody in the head, like the yellow text and like the way that their ragdoll like flips and stuff like that, I just find it really, really gratifying. And like I don't see that in Apex at all. I just see like shooting at this blip of pixels that I can barely tell what the hell it is in the distance. And just from watching other people play, because I've gotten 1 kill in an hour. And
okay, yeah. So like it's far more ability focused than any other battle royale ever because there are abilities in there and you can use your abilities to outplay 100%.
I disagree that it's more ability focused than any other battle royale. I think that's a gross overstatement.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
because
not saying
building is an
I'm
ability
sorry.
in Fortnite, right?
Ability focused isn't the right word, but the fact that it has ability changes the dynamic of how you engage.
Look, I've always said I didn't really like Overwatch because of like the hero shooter aspect of it. But when I played the Overwatch beta, I understood it more intuitively and had a better time with it than the hour of Apex that I played. Just because I just felt like I wasn't doing anything right. No idea like what the hell I'm supposed to be picking up. No idea where anything is on the map. Don't know where I'm supposed to land. Don't know how to look for people. Like it just everything felt foreign, you know? Like I just feel like there's just too much there that has nothing to do with my experience as
you need a safe drop
player.
You need a safe drop with enough time for you to get your handle on the loot so that you can learn the game. That's what it really comes down to.
I mean, you just gotta, it's like a different type of game, you know? It's like going from soccer to football. Arena shooters and battle royales are just very dissimilar.
With this battle royale, I would say it's more similar though.
Yeah. It's very dissimilar. Like it feels similar physically, but mentally the game is different. You know, like it's not
the mental game you're playing is a completely different
which
game.
is way more important than just the physical act of like, oh, I'm sliding. It's like Destiny. It's nothing like Destiny.
No,
It's
that's what I'm saying. What my point about
that
was like, if you go and take Bangalore, what did you say? I didn't hear it.
Oh, Eddie's got yokes.
Further and longer. It's fantastic.
I'm dead.
Yeah. So, just to bring up like. All the games we're playing recently, I want to just like throw this into the mix. I finished Kingdom Hearts 3 this morning.
Yeah, man.
Have you been playing it yet, Huffy? Have you gotten your copy?
Yeah, I don't have it. It's at my house in Alabama.
Okay.
I don't really want it, but I'll get it eventually. My mom's sending it with my hairspray.
All right, then. That's interesting.
So right now you don't have
Very
hairspray?
early 2000s.
No, I'm actually out of hairspray.
I finally finished the game. I gotta say... it's not a bad game. I liked it, but it's not as good as the other two Kingdom Hearts. That's kind of how I feel about it. I'd say like the cutscene spam like really like started to wear on me, especially towards the end. Like 30-minute cutscenes over and over and over again, and it makes me want to skip them, especially because like the story doesn't make sense anyway.
So what's their longest continuous cutscene? I mean,
I didn't clock it, but they're around 30 minutes. Some of the sequences, you know, it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense with the sequences of cutscenes. Here's a funny story. This morning, after I finished the game, I hosted a random person in the directory. First of all, that directory is unbelievably dead for how new the game is. There's like 20 people in the whole directory. I was like, what is going on here? So I host this guy, right? And he's in the beginning area. And I was just like, hey, just finished the game. Like, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And he explained to me what he's doing. He goes, I'm doing what's called the early grind. I was like, what does that mean? He's sitting in the first world until he gets to level 99 before moving on. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. I beat the game at level 40.
Oh my god.
He's sitting there to level 99, and you get less experience in that first world because of how easy the enemies are. And I'm like, that sounds so boring. How long you been at it? And then I saw he's got a clock in the corner of the screen. 170 hours.
Well, that's just ridiculous. But I did the same thing with Final Fantasy.
He was
Final
level
Fantasy
70
games.
when I came in there. Before we started this podcast, I checked my Twitch, and he was like still live. He's going from 70 to 71 in like the past 8 hours. I'm like, oh my god,
why
bro.
Do that? Though? So, what did he explain why he did it?
He wants to be the first one.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever call it the early grind, but it's like grinding things that give you a decent amount of XP. I've totally done that in Final Fantasy games where I've gone to an area just to grind over and over again just to get like the max level. He's purposely
grinding the worst place to get XP.
Well, the worst place is probably So like I did it in Final Fantasy 1 on the Game Boy Advance where I would go to a certain area and I leveled up to 99 before I even fought my first boss. So when I fought the first boss, I was like one tapped him and I was like, well, the game's done. I think I can beat the whole game now.
You know, so I think what killed it for me the most, honestly, that makes it not as good as the other Kingdom Hearts is just the sheer difficulty. I barely died at all during the whole playthrough. I think during most of the playthrough, I died 3 times up until like the final boss, 3 times during my entire 28-hour playthrough. And then during the final boss, I died like 5-6 times just because the final boss is a little bit harder than the rest of the content. But I still felt like it was too easy because I'm not even kidding. The final boss gives you checkpoints like as you progress through the different phases. And so I was like, oh man, this is actually pretty hard. Let me like focus and like break down strategy and learn like each phase. And then I hit retry and like half his health was already gone. I was like, why the fuck is this game holding my hand? You know, like it's kind of brutal. So what you're really
saying is you want to play Dark Souls.
No, dude, I mean, Kingdom Hearts was hard in the past. It really was.
Yeah.
It was like, had some really challenging
One
boss
was
fights
difficult.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
You know?
1 was difficult because of the clunky mechanics, and 2...
1 had the Sephiroth boss as well. Which one had the Sephiroth
boss?
Holy shit.
Both 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And that was also a big disappointment. I was going to play the end game, but I looked it up. I looked it up, and spoiler alert, guys, there's no Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 3. So that pisses me off.
Yeah, so that's actually a big change then, because in King I don't know if it was Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2 that there was a secret way to fight, like you could engage him in a second time or something, and then he was like next to impossible to fight, but it was like a secret that you had to unlock with I don't remember which one it was, but you're saying that it doesn't have that, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe down the road they're going to add like a critical mode and make it harder, but
I thought you said in your tweet that you were gonna try it on critical mode, or did
it's not? Doesn't exist in the game.
Yeah, I think that probably killed it for me. Like I wanted to play it, but watching everyone play it and not die, and then your experience.
Yeah.
Like I've never been into easy games, and also the models that they made for like the outfits that they made for Sora and Donald and Goofy in the Monsters Inc. world. Like, what lazy monster, like, outfits. Those were terrible. Like, Sora's like a weird gray cat with red hair. Like, fuck that shit. They did a bad job.
Really? I don't know. Like, that's the only part I really did like about the game was, like, all of the different ways that, you looked in different worlds and, like, how the different worlds were designed and stuff like that. I think that was, like, the best part of the game.
Yeah, but the Monsters Inc. one, it was so bad. Like, they just, made Goofy green. And I don't know.
Fair enough. But so I'm really looking forward to, I think I'm going to download it today. I don't know if I'm going to play it tonight, depending on what I end up playing tonight, but I want to play Metro Exodus next. Metro Exodus has been getting crazy reviews. The gunplay looks amazing. I really want to jump into it. I'm excited for it. So
I have seen 0 of it.
It looks sick. I think I'm going to try to play a couple hours of BRs tonight, maybe an hour of Fortnite, hour Apex.
Oh, gross. I'm sorry, Fortnite.
Dude, Fortnite is the tits. It just keeps getting better. They just added health on kill to pubs, and it looks incredible.
I mean, it's a big change. Plus, they also, like we were talking about earlier, that Fortnite is changing the game yet again with the way that they're offering their season pass. You can get it for free by just doing the challenges in the game.
Yeah,
that's smart. That's really smart.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Also, hoverboards, I think, are a thing now, right?
What's a what?
Hoverboards. I think.
Hoverboards. Yeah, the hoverboards are sick, dude.
That sounds pretty rad. I might actually try it.
And you can just shoot on the hoverboard. Like, you can just ride around at full speed. Just. It's great. So. And they just announced $100 million in prize money in 2019 for Fortnite.
Well, of course they're gonna announce that because that's just like our overarching figure, right?
No, they laid it out in like a very specific set of tournaments.
What I mean is that's the whole of 2019. Because if you look at how much money's already been given in Apex, just in Apex, you had a $50,000 tournament 2 weeks in a row, so that was a $200,000. It ended up being $200,000, and then you had a $20,000 Code Red tournament.
He's saying 100 million, dude.
There's a difference between $70,000 and $100 million.
I didn't hear the billion. Jesus.
Million.
I'm hearing what you want to hear.
$100 million.
Million. Okay.
$100 million is very different than $70,000.
Yeah. No, I thought that was. Well, no, because like
still like 9.
And that's not even all the prize money. Like, that's just Epic up through the Fortnite World Cup. Yeah. Like, it's only through the World Cup. Yeah, so from April 13th to June 16th, there's $1 million on the line. And then at the World Cup on the, let's see.
You know what's disappointing about that prize money, Huffy?
What?
That's still less than Jeff Bezos' wife is.
Full circle. All right, let's go.
Thought this was a Q&A. I see no answers to the questions. So what questions are you guys asking that you guys want us to answer?
Yeah, ask some questions.
Who made you think it was that Q&A?
Go ahead and ask your questions.
Can we get some metal aliens in the chat?
I don't know what that means.
I have no idea what that means.
I will say one final point. As people are typing questions and stuff. Diet put a lot of work into the website last night. It looks really good. It hasn't gone live yet. We have a couple little kinks to work out, but I'm excited, guys. Yeah. I'm excited for it to go live. So
I'm really excited for you guys to see we're also launching with the website our GuardianCast Ludes Twitter, where we will all be posting.
Subscribe
lewds.
to our Patreon for premium Snapchat content.
Yeah,
$25 a month premium Snapchat. Please don't report us to the IRS.
Also, I heard we were talking with the company about doing GuardianCast loot boxes too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Are we on iTunes yet or no?
Yeah,
we are on iTunes. Yeah,
we're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube. Maplewood _TV would like to know, can Huffy put the glass on again?
I put him back on.
There you go.
He had to.
Oh, wait.
He's got props.
He's doing an entrance. For our audio listeners, he's doing an entrance. And actually, for our video listeners, we do gameplay now, so... unless you're here live, you're not going to see this premium content. Don't forget to watch at twitch.tv/ReckedExpert. Oh, yeah. He's got some super chill glasses on.
Let's go.
They are colored glasses.
Frankie wants to know if we're published by EA.
Yeah.
We're in talks.
This is actually what you're seeing right now, especially if you're an audio listener. You're not really missing anything because it's just the Anthem load screens is what you're looking at.
No, actually, last week I did Anthem footage. Footage, and I edited out all the load screens, so it looked like the game was seamless. You press a button,
that's fantastic.
Boom,
oh, that's nice.
That's a lot of work too, because I know.
You're welcome, guys.
From watching Angry Joe that he did that quite a bit. He cut his up, and he showed that like on his Twitter, like I said, like he's like 5 minutes of loading screens with like 3 minutes of missions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coton wants to know, is pronouncing your name right? Maybe not. Kantan? Akumu. Who did it better, Apex Legend or Survive?
I don't know what that is.
Survivio?
Survivor did it better, but Journey was better first. Just saying.
Journey the band? What are we talking about, man?
Right now? The question was about as absurd as that.
I'm just gonna say Apex Legends because I mean I'm really enjoying that game right now.
Guys, what is the questions about the aliens and stuff? Like
I don't get it.
I'm so lost.
I mean, do we need metal aliens? Is that
apparently dancing metal aliens?
Are we not do that. Dancing enough? Like what's going on?
We can do that. Let's see.
How do we do
this?
Do I need to?
There we go.
All right. Guys, we officially have dancing metal aliens here right now. So
all right. Green screen too. So that's even better.
that's Pog, yo.
Yeah, we take requests.
You know what's weird about that green screen thing though is they have a shadow there. So I don't know what they were thinking with that.
I mean, whatever. Is what it is.
You made Mex Chris really happy. So.
Yeah.
We're here to please.
Really excited about that.
We're here to please. We're also going to have Dancing Metal Ludes. Again, that's follow us on at GC Ludes. At GC Ludes.
I heard
all of this,
the
by the way,
GuardianCast
is not an
Twitter
actual official link. GuardianCast does not support and/or endorse Huffy's message.
What?
I mean, I
what
do.
You mean,
I
bro?
support Heavy's message.
Yo, I had a funny story that I got to share with the cast.
All right, hang on. I'm going to go get what do you say, Gcast Ludes? 1 second.
Well, this has to do with you, EXO. So I was talking with Linny and Reese and Kat, and I'm not going to blow up her spot, but Kat had mentioned to us how old she is and surprised us because, she was, older than some of us, and I was under the impression she was younger than us. But so then we were going over how old all of us were, and I was like, I wonder how old EXO is, and this is what Reese said to me. He said, I asked EXO how old he is, and his answer was, I stopped keeping track.
Yeah,
I was like, that is a typical EXO answer, non-answer. Super cryptic. Yeah. I would expect nothing less.
I actually stopped saying that it's in my nature to not be cryptic because it just seems to be my nature to be cryptic.
Yeah,
I don't know why you were saying that to begin with.
I don't know. Yeah, because when I first started being, it was a long time ago. But I was like, it's not in my nature to be mysterious. But I would just be mysterious, and then slowly over time, it was just I'm just a mysterious individual.
What if EXO?
I'm actually not a real person. That's why I'm a computer talking to you right now.
I kind of think that you're using Twitch to launder money through the affiliate program.
I'm actually thinking that maybe EXO doesn't really exist outside of Twitch. When somebody hits go live, it just generates him in a virtual world.
That's why it takes the time that it takes to get to
boot up the system. Mm-hmm. He's like an AI.
What if EXO is Jeff Bezos' wife?
I don't think I'd be streaming.
Well, I mean, the divorce papers.
So he's just in it for the money. You heard it here first.
Jeff Bezos' wife is EXO Fury, and he's just in it for the money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In it for the money.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could actually start an affiliate program just for the money. It's God, I'm just in it for the money.
That's the truth, man. To Twitch millions, just quit your job, go full time. Yep. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
This is Advice Cast.
That's the dream.
Yeah, we told other people to that you shouldn't take our legal advice with regards to divorce. To that, I would respond that Jeff Bezos' wife should definitely take our advice,
or just take us. I mean,
and maybe she should start streaming.
Listen, if you go full time, you just have to play for less than 12 hours a day, and whatever you do, don't go lower than 7 cents. It's not worth it. No.
I don't know what that means.
It's fine.
Well, that's all I have for this week, guys. Unless anybody has any other topics they wanted to bring up.
The only thing I could think of that could possibly, the only reason why, what's coming to mind when you said 7 cents was if you watch XQC, and I don't even fully understand the meme, but when people donate to him, they just put massive amounts of sevens because he has his donation thing read off the number or whatever, and it just continues 777777777. So I mean, I don't understand it, but apparently he gets mad when it happens.
He was the guy, that's where the tryhard 7 thing started, which got him banned from Overwatch League. So
gotcha.
So that explains that.
Yeah.
So 7 is actually what got him banned.
Yes.
All right. Well, this has been episode 51, guys. Next week is our official 1 year. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out, everybody.
Later, y'all.
Adios.
Oh, I forgot to press record on Audacity.